Ciao, welcome back to my channel. Thank you so much for clicking on this video. If you're new here, my name is Caroline. I share all things modern Mediterranean living, which means lots of Mediterranean diet recipes. I'm doing 4 amazing snack recipes. They are high in protein, high in amazing, healthy, good for you fats that we so very much need. They're full of fiber, micronutrients, macronutrients. They're all very whole foods based. I try to keep them as easy and simplistic as possible. I'm super excited to share these today. Let's hop in to recipe number 1. For the first recipe, I have some cheesy seedy crackers. They're super high protein, high in fiber from all those seeds, amazing healthy fats. I talk a lot about the good and bad fats in my modern Mediterranean diet guide. If you're looking to understand the diet and lifestyle, it's important the type of cheese that you use. Shred them myself because pre-shredded cheeses, they put starches and powders on them so they don't get cakey in the grocery store, and they're just not as fresh. Anything you can do to make it fresher will taste better. I understand that you're gonna say, Caroline, that is one more step I don't normally take. But the true modern Mediterranean lifestyle, the true Mediterranean diet, why it's so good is not because there is this secret to it, because there's these promises to it. It's because it's taking back our knowledge and our power in our kitchen and doing things from scratch. The reason the Mediterranean diet is gonna be one of the ultimate researched best diets out there in the world is because you're just doing things homemade, simplistic. There's no secret. There's no pill to take. There's no supplement that's gonna de-bloat you. It's just high quality. So how did we get here when we were talking about crackers? 2 cups of shredded cheese on the sheet tray. And then you can sprinkle literally whatever you want to total about 1/4 cup of sprinkling. You could do a huge crack of black pepper all over these crackers and make them like black pepper flavored. You could do everything but the bagel seasoning. I really wanted to load it completely up with za'atar. I put za'atar on literally everything, and I think you guys are probably pretty sick of that. Bake them at 325 until they're golden brown. You will see a little bit of oil from the cheese start to release. Don't get worried, because what you're gonna do is then you're gonna cool them completely. I recommend cooling them for at least 2 hours, and then you go to break them. And once they're completely cool and you see that oil from the cheese kind of either sink into the paper or kind of dry back up, when you go to touch them, they're gonna be greasy. I mean, they're a natural cracker, so they're gonna be a little bit greasy to the touch. But I've noticed that the longer I store them, 2 or 3 days in, the less greasy they start to get. The variations are epically endless of how you want to make these. I'll list the type of cheeses that you can use. And now it's time for a little taste because I'm kind of sick of talking about them and I just want to taste them. They're so crunchy, so salty. They're so easy to make, I kid you not, so epically delicious. I absolutely love these crackers. You have to make them. Let's move on to recipe number 2. We are going to switch over to a sweet recipe. In a recipe video a few years back, I made a rather complex chia pudding. It was based off of a candy bar with peanut butter and caramel, and while that chia pudding is incredible and I will let it still live on my website, I feel like it's not really realistic for how many steps and all the things that goes into it. This chia pudding is so loaded with so much gut amazing goodness. A lot of the times these healthy high fat foods are also great for our gut. Talk about incredible digestion, feeling full, they have great fiber. I mean, this is a powerhouse. Like if you want to have insane gut health and feel cleaned out and feel like everything's operating amazingly, I recommend making this specific recipe. I wanted to make this recipe also completely dairy free. It is a chocolate orange tahini pudding cup. And so I made an orange hemp milk. So it's just water, orange juice, and hemps blended up to make the milk. And then to make chia pudding feel so creamy and luxurious, I usually use yogurt as well. But to keep this dairy free, I used coconut yogurt. That is my favorite because it has the least amount of ingredients. You can make your homemade coconut yogurt. It's something I used to do a lot in college, which I feel like I should do that again on my channel, because like almond yogurt, cashew yogurts, they have more binders and additives and stuff, versus coconut yogurt can always just be coconut and live active cultures, aka probiotics. So we're already loaded with so much gut health. So the hemp also, I didn't explain this. I use the hemp milk or I use the hemp seeds because hemp seeds are super high in protein, nice and creamy. So it's a creamier consistency, and then the yogurt adds some creaminess. Cocoa powder, honey or maple syrup, whichever flavor kind of palette you like. Vanilla extract, that's optional, just really helps with the more like dessert feel, adds a little layer of flavor. Of course, a little bit of salt to bring out all the flavors, and then orange zest as well. So the orange and the chocolate, don't knock it until you try it. It is so refreshing and it enhances the chocolate, and they just pair so well together. So it's like, yes, you're eating something chocolatey and decadent and delicious, but the orange cuts through that chocolate. So it's actually refreshing, and that's like what I want to feel in a snack, that it was refreshing and light, and that I can keep moving throughout my day after having a snack. And you don't need a lot to feel full, so that's why I use these little tiny cups. And then the center here is something that pairs so well with chocolate and orange, is tahini. Tahini is one of my favorite flavors on the Mediterranean. It's so delicious. So really all I did was some sugar, tahini, and more yogurt, because I wanted to use up all the yogurt I bought. I bought all this yogurt for this recipe, might as well use it up and make like this thick mousse, and also recreate the classic old school pudding cup things, the chocolate, vanilla chocolate. Super cute. So I tried to layer it, and then I did a beautiful, elegant shaving of chocolate and orange zest on top. I really recommend trying to like make yourself feel special and like put little toppings and little things here and there. Do you have to layer it like this? Absolutely not. You could just put some chia pudding and then the tahini mousse on top. But the little things you do for yourself speak so much to the way that you live and the way that you feel and your mental health, and you deserve to spend the time doing a little bit of this. And so any way you want to feel better about yourself takes a little bit of effort. So if you want to feel better, you have to put in that effort, and I kind of like adding a little bit of sparkle to it. Let's try some chocolate orange tahini pudding. Oh my gosh, it's so creamy. Yes, it looks so good. I want to get a lot of the tahini cream because, like, honestly, that's my favorite part. You have these big strips of orange zest running throughout. They add so much flavor. A lot of the times, most of the nutrients found in produce is found in the peel. Like all of the orange zest, tahini cream, and chocolate like running throughout. In true Caroline form, I'm gonna finish this spoonful and move on to the third recipe. Buonissima. For recipe number 3, we have one of my favorite flavor profiles on some delicious nuts. Pomegranate molasses, sumac, roasted nuts, caramelized nuts. They're just super sticky and clumpy. Absolutely delicious. So savory, kind of sweet. Then you get a kick of smokiness. Incredible. Let's talk about these. You start off with, I think it's 2 cups. I'm not sure. Again, check my recipe in the description. But you start out with some nuts. I use raw walnuts and almonds. I really tried to find raw pistachios. Could not find raw pistachios. You do 1 tablespoon of olive oil, 1 tablespoon of honey. I think it's 2 tablespoons of pomegranate molasses. Pomegranate molasses is one of my favorite Mediterranean flavors. It's syrupy, super tart, almost berry. If you can't find pomegranate molasses, the best substitute would be like a balsamic glaze, when balsamic has just been cooked down into like that thick syrupy glaze. And then my very favorite spice is sumac. I love sumac. It's tart, it's berry, almost like a pretty berry color. It almost has a little bit of lemoniness to it, and it pairs so well with pomegranate molasses. And then to kind of counter all this really tartness that we have going on is why, of course, I put the honey, but I also put some smoked paprika. At first you get the like tart syrupiness, and then you get the smokiness at the end. And then I also did some Aleppo pepper flakes for a little bit of kick and spice. And I know this sounds weird, but the glaze that I put on these nuts is almost like a Mediterranean barbecue glaze, like almost, because it's tart and sweet and smoky and has a little bit of kick to it. Super delicious. And this even got me thinking, what else could I have mixed in here besides just the nuts? You definitely want to portion this out and don't find yourself having this whole bowl and just eating handfuls of it. So I think the next time I make this, I'm gonna try to do it with popcorn, because I feel like this would be delicious on popcorn, and that's a little bit more lower calorie, higher volume. Again, not that calories are the focus here. It's just if you're trying to snack, if you're on your weight loss journey, or just any journey in general, you don't want to be eating handfuls and handfuls of nuts. You want everything in moderation. That's like the key to the Mediterranean diet, is just moderation. They're really good on salads, really good chopped up and added to like any dishes. I will say the flavor profile on these, while it is so delicious, that like after a few bites, you're like, that was good, that was enough. I don't really need to eat like this whole bowl of them. Anything that's addicting that you like have to eat a lot of it, there's like probably something in it like sugar or salt or some literally other chemical that like the Americans have figured out and put into all our food that it becomes addicting. So I'm gonna take one last bite so we can move on to the fourth and final recipe. For the fourth recipe, it wasn't ready when I originally filmed this entire video. It is a delicious high protein frozen pistachio dessert or snack. It's super creamy, super luxurious. Like I said, high protein, super minimal ingredients. Greek yogurt is amazing for us, so high in protein, so delicious. And then to flavor it, I used a pistachio butter, which all I did was ground 2 cups of pistachios in the food processor until it became a pistachio butter or pistachio paste. I think pistachio gelato is one of my favorite flavors of all. That's why I really, really wanted to create this, because I absolutely love pistachio gelato. The banana is probably very important. I know a lot of people don't like banana or don't like the taste of bananas, but the banana really, really helps to increase the natural sweetness in this recipe. And it really helps with that fudgy, ice creamy kind of texture. Add the banana, maple syrup, or honey, depending on your flavors, what you like, what you have. Unrefined is always ideal. The liquid also really helps freeze up in a delicious, easy method. And then a little bit of vanilla to help with that dessert feel. And I really recommend, if you want to make your life easier for like portioning and serving sizes, to get some molds, ice cream molds or like really big ice cube trays. The beauty of this pistachio ice cream, and if you want to use almond butter, peanut butter, any sunflower seed butter, you can replace the pistachio with any nut butter you choose. But the beauty of it is like as soon as you pull it out of the freezer, it's like ready to go. You can eat it. You don't have to wait for it to like defrost or anything like that. Like you can go right into the whole entire container with a spoon. But what I tried to do, and also why I couldn't end up filming this recipe yesterday, is I thought I was gonna be able to cut it and then freeze it and then put it into some dipped chocolate, but it was melting way, way, way too quickly. You can do muffin trays and put parchment paper muffin wrappers in each one and then maybe freeze them in those so they're already portioned out, so you can just grab them and snack on the ice cream so you don't have to like scoop it out. But if you don't mind giving yourself a nice little scoop of high protein pistachio ice cream, I mean, you can have this for dessert. You could have it honestly for breakfast. It's a really, really good snack. That's why, of course, I made it for this recipe video. And another reason why I just really, really love this recipe, it's not overly sweet. It's decadent, it's rich, and you feel satisfied off of like 1 scoop or a scoop and a half. I love it. So rich, so pistachio-like, obviously. So good. And now you guys know, if you ever see bright green pistachio ice cream, it's very artificial and fake. It should be like this beautiful golden green color. So delicious, full of protein, fiber, healthy fats, wholesome, nutrient-dense ingredients. That concludes this recipe video. Thank you so, so, so much for watching. I really hope you enjoyed. I really hope you got some kind of idea, learned something new, hopefully are inspired to get into your kitchen after watching this recipe video. If you have any questions at all, please drop a comment below. Ask those questions. I'm here, whether it's on the Mediterranean lifestyle or the Mediterranean diet. I try so hard to get back to you guys and answer as many questions as possible. Everything from this video that I talked about can be found in the description below. And I think that's enough talking. So thank you so, so, so much for watching. I really, really hope you enjoyed. And until next time, I hope you create a very, very zestful day. Ciao.